I transformed from this to this, and despite fixing my chronic asthma, my sleep disordered breathing, recorrecting my overbite, fixing my crooked teeth, rewiring my asymmetry, straightening my nose, and fixing my entire health from the inside out, people still like to believe that it was just puberty. That is why in the last year since starting social media, I have kept doing the exact same techniques, and to prove that in the last year, I have expanded my palate, further developed my teeth, and widened my face. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Oscar Patel. Not only did I transform myself, but I have helped thousands of other people improve their looks by fixing the real root cause of their health. I'm currently launching my own scientific research project, and at the same time, I currently have the largest health-based paid community in the world, which you are more than welcome to join. If you want to speak with me directly, get all the information in one place, and begin becoming the best version of yourself. But let's get back into the video and get cracking. The reality is many people online don't actually do what they say, and this is the big fallacy that occurs out there. A lot of photos are doctored, a lot of facts are misrepresented, and a lot of transformations are exaggerated. That is why over the last year, I've been trying to provide some undeniable proof, and that is what you'll see in this video. If we look back 1 year ago at one of my first Instagram reels, where I already have, actually not one of my first Instagram reels, but one of the earlier ones where I only have like 10,000 followers, but I still have followers, you can screenshot me saying this word is. And during that screenshot, you can take a picture of my palette and see the width of my smile. You can compare that to me saying it right now, is, or you can take a screenshot from my recent video, which you can see here, and you can see the difference in the width of my smile and the width of my palette. In addition, you can also see it of me showing my palette around 10 months ago in a video of me zygo pulling, where you can see the entire structure of my teeth, and you can also see the entire structure of my palette in this video from a week ago, where I am showing how to mew. And you can see the shape of the palette is more a U rather than a V. You can see the width of the palette has improved, the intermolar distance increased, and now what does this mean? Well, most people will say the sutures are fused when you're 16 years old, but this transformation has taken place from the ages of 19 to 20, and you can go back and compare it to every single video I've ever produced. What does this actually mean? Well, the wider your palate, the better you can breathe. The better you can breathe, the better your posture. The better your posture, the more your face can grow upwards and forwards, and the less restrictive your fascia. The less restrictive your fascia, the better you move, the better you digest, the better you feel, the better you look, the more productive you are, and the best version of yourself is what you become. And nearly everyone says that you need surgery or you need orthodontics. They will accuse me of getting surgery and faking my transformation, but I've recorded a video every day for nearly the last year, and you can clearly see my palate slowly and slowly expanding. And you can see the exact same thing with my teeth. Despite fixing my crooked teeth previously, they used to be pretty crooked, and also improving my overbite as well as my alignment, I have further improved my overbite very considerably over the last 9 months from the ages of 19 to 20. And this is very clear in these photos. This first photo, again, I'd already proved a lot of things. I'd already expanded my palate multiple millimeters. I've already done this for 2 years, but you can clearly see I still have a slight deep bite. In this photo from yesterday, you can clearly see my bite is much better aligned. And again, this entire process has occurred over the last 9 months. We can see it again here in a photo of me smiling and a photo of me smiling now. You can see more of my teeth, my face is wider, my palate is wider. And again, while you may not be able to fully see the bone structure, I'm in the process of getting leaner to unveil all of these results. Future Oscar here, and just as I'm pulling on my palate, you should be doing the opposite and pushing the subscribe button. We are going to be dropping the second Mike Mew collaboration video the moment we hit 300,000 subscribers. So stay tuned for that. Back to the video. But what is the importance of this? What is the mechanism through which this works? Well, it's very important to understand. The width of the palate is the base of the face. If the palate is not wide enough, the tongue cannot sit on the roof of the mouth. If the tongue cannot sit on the roof of the mouth, the face cannot develop upwards and forwards. As a byproduct, this leads to a downturned nose. This leads to less support under the eyes. This leads to vertical growth and a long face, and this leads to recession. So this is the most fundamental thing anyone can do for actual structural health, expand their palate. And the most important thing to take away from this video is that this works at any age. Not only has this worked for me, and again, you don't need to fully take my word, I'm going to be launching my own scientific research project with Dr. Mike Mew himself. But at the same time, we have thousands of transformations already, multiple of which are people 25 plus years old, including my mum at the age of 58. This woman in her 50s, we have a man who expanded his palate 2 millimeters after the age of 70, and we have loads of people who've transformed the shape of their nose, increased their forward growth, aligned their teeth, and fixed everything from the inside out. And so what is the key driver for all of this? What is the main mechanism? The tongue itself is the main driver, but thumb pulling is the catalyst. You need to be completely consistent and results compound. This is the most important thing to understand. Your palate can never get too wide. Our ancestors used to have 50mm palates. We have 34mm palates. We have deviated so far away from the way that we were intended to live that it is almost impossible to get back to the way that we were supposed to look. You can look at celebrities with wide palates, and you can clearly see one of the most common features amongst supermodels is the width of the palate. The wider your palate, everything else falls into place. Your asymmetry, your recession, your overbite, your crooked nose, your eye bags, your dark circles, all of this falls into place when you fix the root cause, which is having enough space for your tongue to push on the roof of your mouth. And once you have that space, that is the difficult part, because the rest shifts very, very easily, because the tongue can provide 600 grams of force, constantly remodeling the bone, activating osteoblasts, and therefore developing new bone matrix. And again, this is only the start. Not only did I transform from this to this in the last year, but things will only continue to get better. This is an exponential process. People will only get healthier, they will only develop better and better, and they will only get closer and closer to the best versions of themselves. You don't need to thump all for the rest of your life, but you do need to start taking ownership and action of yourself. The more time you invest in improving your health, you buy back that time almost instantly by sleeping better, being more productive, being more fulfilled, and getting more opportunities. Remember, health is looks. Everyone is focused on symptomatic causes, on getting Invisalign to straighten their teeth, on getting this to fix their overbite, on doing this surgery in order to bring their jaw forward, instead of realizing the body is so powerful and it can recorrect itself from the inside out. So what is the one final thing I would recommend? Well, the one final thing I would recommend to maintain all of the results of this and to begin to see permanent passive results without having to do anything, you need to fix your posture. And I'm going to make more in-depth videos on this in the long run. But if your body is not aligned, if you do not fix your anterior pelvic tilt, if you do not fix your forward head posture, if you do not fix your tongue posture, if you do not fix your flat feet, if you do not fix your rounded shoulders, the body will revert back to baseline habits. Your back supports your neck supports your head, and as a result, everything will relapse and cascade back through your body if your posture is not as good as your habits. So keep this in mind. Not only do you need to recorrect your myofunctional habits, stumble to create space, fix your health, fix your gut health, fix your light environment, but you also need to recorrect your posture, be consistent, and begin becoming the best version of yourself. This takes no time and it's really easy to integrate. You do not need to spend thousands on orthodontics. If you'd like more, if you want to work with me directly, you can click the link in the description, join the fastest growing school community in the world. Remember, we have masterclass speakers in every week. We're announcing the new Mewing plus thumb pulling challenge, and there are many fun things to come. Thank you for watching Health is Looks.